Some truths in life are heavy, but they must be spoken. Not everyone around you is your friend. People wear masks, and sometimes the closest ones are the ones who betray you first. Friendship is proven in action, not in words or promises. Today, let's uncover the reality behind fake friends and why you must protect your peace. A transformation begins with a breaking point, that exact moment when the old identity, habits, and routines no longer serve your growth. It is the moment you feel something inside of you cracking, not because you are weak, but because you can no longer pretend to fit into a life that feels too small for the person you are becoming. This breaking point is not a sign of failure. It is the birth of a new chapter. It is life whispering to you that the patterns you once thought were keeping you safe are now chains that keep you from moving forward. You begin to notice how the comfort you used to enjoy now feels heavy, how the people you surround yourself with no longer inspire you, and how your routines keep you repeating the same cycles without growth. The breaking point opens your eyes, and though it feels painful, it is necessary. At this stage, many people run from the discomfort. They cling to the old version of themselves because it feels familiar, even if it is suffocating. But the truth is, growth cannot come without disruption. Imagine a seed buried in the soil. For it to become a tree, it must crack open. That breaking, that splitting apart, is its transformation. You are no different. Your breaking point is proof that you are ready to grow, ready to release what no longer belongs, ready to move into a higher version of yourself. What you once called stability may have actually been stagnation. What you once called friendship may have been dependency. What you once called identity may have been a disguise to hide your true potential. This breaking point forces you to reflect deeply. You begin to ask yourself questions you used to avoid. Am I truly happy, or am I just comfortable? Am I living my life, or am I repeating the patterns handed to me by others? Am I operating from fear, or am I daring to step into the unknown with faith? These questions can feel unsettling, but they are the beginning of clarity. You realize that change does not begin when everything is easy. Change begins when you cannot stay the same anymore. Transformation requires courage. The old habits will call you back. The familiar voices will remind you of who you were. The temptations to shrink into your old self will be strong. But every time you choose to take one step forward, you prove to yourself that you are not defined by your past. You are not trapped by your mistakes. You are not limited by the labels others have placed on you. Instead, you are rewriting your story with every new decision. It may be lonely at first, because the journey of transformation is often misunderstood. Not everyone will support your new path. Some will resist your growth because it threatens their comfort. But remember, you are not changing to please others. You are changing because your soul demands expansion. As you embrace the breaking point, you begin to rebuild. You create new habits that align with who you want to become. You remove the distractions that used to steal your energy. You set boundaries where there used to be none. Slowly, the old version of you fades away, and a stronger, wiser, more focused you emerges. The breaking point that once felt unbearable becomes the foundation of your new strength. In the end, transformation is not about becoming someone else. It is about finally allowing yourself to become who you were meant to be. The breaking point is the doorway. The pain you feel today is shaping the resilience you will carry tomorrow. You are not breaking down, you are breaking open. And from that opening, a new life begins. One that reflects your true power, your true purpose, and your true self. Breaking yourself is not weakness, it is the courage to confront illusions, fears, and stagnation that keep you small. Most people run from the idea of breaking, because society has taught us that to break is to fail. But the truth is, breaking is a necessary step toward becoming whole. When you allow yourself to break, you are not falling apart, you are dismantling the false structures, the masks, and the chains that kept you from living fully. It takes far more strength to face the lies you have been telling yourself than it does to continue pretending everything is fine. Breaking is not the end, it is the beginning of renewal. Think about the illusions we carry, illusions about who we are supposed to be, what success is supposed to look like, how others should see us. We build identities around approval, validation, and external rewards. But deep down, those illusions create a prison. Breaking yourself means shattering the illusion that you must always be perfect, that you must always meet everyone's expectations, that you must always play small so others feel comfortable. It means choosing authenticity over appearance, truth over comfort, growth over stagnation. Every illusion you confront is a layer of weight lifted from your spirit. Then there are the fears. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. These fears are powerful only when you refuse to face them. The courage to break yourself is the courage to walk straight into those fears and see them for what they are, shadows of the mind. Breaking is standing at the edge of your comfort zone and saying, I refuse to be controlled by fear anymore. It is realizing that the only way to grow is to step into the very spaces that terrify you. Fear loses its grip the moment you decide to confront it rather than hide from it. And what about stagnation? Stagnation is one of the most dangerous traps because it disguises itself as peace. You convince yourself you are safe, you tell yourself you are stable, but deep down you are stuck. Nothing is moving, nothing is changing, and the fire within you grows dimmer with each passing day. Breaking yourself is the act of disrupting that stagnation. It is shaking your life loose from routines that keep you numb. It is saying, I will not settle for survival, I am here to live fully. That disruption is painful, but pain is often the signal of progress. The discomfort of growth is far better than the false peace of stagnation. Breaking requires honesty. You must look at yourself without filters, without excuses, without distractions. You must admit where you have been hiding, where you have been settling, where you have been avoiding responsibility for your own growth. That level of honesty can hurt, but it is also liberating. Once you confront the truth, you can no longer go back to the lies that kept you stuck. You begin to rebuild yourself not on illusions, not on fear, not on stagnation, but on clarity, strength, and authenticity. Breaking yourself is the path to transformation. Every crack in your old identity allows light to enter. Every fear you face gives you freedom. Every illusion you release brings you closer to your true self. You are not weak for breaking. You are brave for allowing yourself to evolve. The world may not understand your process, but transformation is not about their approval. It is about your growth, your freedom, and your truth. So do not resist the breaking. Embrace it. For in the breaking, you are not losing yourself, you are finding who you were always meant to be. Growth requires discomfort. Real change always feels chaotic, uncertain, and painful before it feels liberating. Too often we wish for transformation to arrive in the form of ease, to slip into our lives without disturbance. But growth does not come through comfort. It comes through the tension that pulls you out of who were and stretches you toward who you are meant to become. The moments of chaos are not evidence that you are failing. They are proof that you are evolving. When your world feels uncertain, it is often because the old structure of your life is collapsing, making space for something new to rise. That space feels unfamiliar, sometimes terrifying, but it is necessary. Discomfort is the signal that you are moving beyond what is familiar. It is the weight you feel when you break free from habits that no longer serve you, the trembling of your spirit when you step into an unknown path, the resistance that comes when your comfort zone is no longer large enough to hold your potential. Every meaningful change begins this way. You do not become stronger without testing your limits, just as muscles cannot grow without tension and resistance. In the same way, your character, your vision, and your spirit cannot expand without being stretched by challenge. The chaos of growth often shows up in your emotions. You may feel restless, irritable, or overwhelmed. You may question whether you are on the right path or if you should go back to what feels safe. But those emotions are not signs of weakness. They are the echoes of your old self struggling to survive. They are reminders that the process of shedding your past is not gentle, it is messy, but it is beautiful. Transformation is not meant to be clean, it is meant to be real. Uncertainty also plays its role. When you cannot see the full picture, you learn to trust yourself. You learn to move with faith rather than sight. You learn that the discomfort of not knowing is the birthplace of creativity, resilience, and courage. If you always knew the outcome before you began, there would be no growth in the journey. The unknown teaches you to build inner strength, to develop patience, and to release control over what you cannot predict. It is in the unknown that you discover parts of yourself you never realized existed. The pain of growth is perhaps the hardest part to embrace. It hurts to let go of people who no longer align with your path. It hurts to abandon old identities that felt safe. It hurts to confront your flaws and admit where you have been holding yourself back. But pain is not the enemy, it is the teacher. Pain strips away illusions, reveals your deepest strength, and humbles you into becoming more authentic. Without that pain, the freedom that follows would not feel so liberating. Liberation always comes after the storm. Once you push through the chaos, the uncertainty, and the pain, you begin to notice the lightness in your spirit. You realize that you no longer carry the same fears, the same doubts, the same limitations. You feel the strength that comes from surviving what you once thought would break you. You discover the power of resilience, and with it comes a new sense of clarity and purpose. Growth is not comfortable, but comfort was never the goal. The goal is expansion, freedom, and becoming more of who you truly are. Discomfort is the evidence that you are alive, that you are not settling, that you are daring to step into the unknown with courage. So when growth feels chaotic, uncertain, and painful, remember you are not falling apart, you are being reshaped. The discomfort you feel today is the foundation of the liberation you will experience tomorrow. Destruction is preparation, tearing down old beliefs, attachments, and lies create space for a stronger self. At first glance, destruction feels like loss. It feels like everything you have built is collapsing before your eyes, leaving you empty, vulnerable, and uncertain. But in truth, destruction is not the end, it is the clearing. It is the act of life removing what no longer serves you so that something greater can emerge. Just as a forest fire looks devastating yet enriches the soil for new growth, your personal destruction makes way for renewal. You cannot build a higher version of yourself on weak foundations, so the old must be broken down to make space for strength. Old beliefs are often the first walls that must fall. Many of the things you once accepted as truth were never yours to begin with. They were handed to you by family, culture, society, or fear. These beliefs may have shaped you, but they also limited you. Beliefs like, I'm not good enough, success is impossible, or love must come with pain, keep you trapped in cycles that shrink your spirit. To prepare for transformation, you must be willing to tear them down. This is not easy because beliefs feel like part of your identity. But the courage to question them, to dismantle them, is the beginning of freedom. When those lies crumble, clarity and self-worth rise in their place. Attachments are another layer of destruction. We cling to people, places, and routines that feel familiar even when they drain us. We hold on out of comfort, fear of change, or the illusion that without them we cannot survive. But true growth requires letting go. It means releasing toxic relationships, environments that suffocate you, and habits that rob you of energy. Letting go feels like breaking at first, but it is actually liberation. Attachments that keep you small cannot follow you into your next chapter. To step into your power, you must create room for new connections, new opportunities, and new energy that align with your growth. The lies you tell yourself may be the hardest to destroy. Lies that say you are too broken, too late, too unworthy. Lies that convince you to play small and hide your greatness. These lies whisper to you in moments of doubt, keeping you trapped in cycles of fear and hesitation. The act of destruction here is not violent, it is intentional. It is choosing to silence those lies with truth. It is replacing self-doubt with self-belief, fear with faith, hesitation with action. When those lies are dismantled, you stand face to face with your authentic self, no longer hidden beneath falsehoods. Destruction is messy. It is not comfortable, and it does not happen in silence. It comes with pain, with chaos, and with moments where you question everything. But remember, the collapse of the old is the preparation for the rise of the new. No building stands without first clearing the ground. No transformation happens without first releasing what cannot remain. The stronger self you are becoming cannot be built on illusions, attachments, and lies. It must be built on truth, clarity, and resilience. When you accept destruction as preparation, you stop fearing the breakdowns. You understand that endings are not failures, but invitations to begin again with greater wisdom. You learn that what feels like loss today is the foundation for strength tomorrow. And you realize that destruction is not here to punish you. It is here to prepare you. By tearing down what no longer belongs, life is clearing the space for you to rise stronger, freer, and more aligned with who you were always meant to be. Every fall, fear, and failure is a seed. Each moment of pain carries the potential to awaken resilience, clarity, and strength. Most people see falling as an ending, a sign that they are unworthy or incapable. They treat fear as an enemy and failure as a shameful mark on their story. But in reality, these experiences are not the tombstones of your journey. They are the seeds planted deep within the soil of your life. Just as a seed must be buried in darkness before it can grow into light, your struggles carry the hidden potential to transform you. Pain may bend you, but it does not destroy you. Fear may shake you, but it teaches you courage. Failure may humble you, but it plants the lessons that later become your wisdom. Falling is often the first seed. When you stumble, when life knocks you down, you are forced to confront your own vulnerability. It hurts to fall, yet it awakens something powerful within you. Falling teaches you humility, reminding you that perfection is an illusion. It teaches you persistence because each time you rise, you discover strength you never knew you had. A fall is not the end of your journey. It is the soil where resilience grows. Each bruise becomes a reminder that you are capable of standing again, stronger than before. Fear is another seed. Fear shows up whenever you are about to cross into unknown territory. It whispers lies, convincing you that you are not ready, that you should turn back. But hidden within fear is the opportunity to grow. Facing fear is the act of stretching your limits, stepping beyond comfort, and proving to yourself that courage does not mean the absence of fear. It means moving forward despite it. Every time you face fear, you plant a seed of confidence. That confidence becomes the root system that holds you steady when new challenges arise. Failure too is a seed. Society teaches us to avoid failure at all costs, but failure is one of the most valuable teachers in existence. Every failure holds a lesson that success cannot reveal. Failure shows you what doesn't work so you can discover what does. It strips away arrogance, forcing you to see reality with clearer eyes. It strengthens your character by teaching you patience, adaptability, and resilience. Many of the greatest successes in history were born from repeated failures, each one planting seeds of wisdom until breakthrough arrived. Pain is the soil in which these seeds are planted. It is uncomfortable, sometimes unbearable, but it is also fertile ground for transformation. Without pain, resilience would never awaken, clarity would never sharpen, and strength would never fully emerge. Pain stretches you, refines you, and molds you into a version of yourself that could not exist without struggle. The very moments you wish you could erase are often the moments that shape your destiny the most. What matters is how you choose to nurture these seeds. You can let falls, fears, and failures bury you, or you can let them grow you. You can see pain as a punishment, or you can see it as preparation. With every hardship, you are being given an opportunity to rise higher, to become wiser, and to uncover strength that comfort could never produce. The question is not whether you will experience pain, but whether you will allow that pain to plant something powerful within you. Every fall holds the seed of resilience. Every fear holds the seed of courage. Every failure holds the seed of wisdom. Together, they create the foundation of your strength. You are not defined by the moments that broke you. You are defined by how you choose to rise from them. What felt like the end is often the beginning of something greater. Remember this: every seed buried in darkness eventually reaches for the light. And so will you. Forging the new self is deliberate transformation, demands conscious choices, new habits, and relentless commitment. Change does not arrive by accident. It is not a gift handed to you without effort, nor does it unfold while you remain passive. To become someone new, you must make the decision again and again, day after day, to align your actions with the vision of who you want to be. Forging is an intentional act, much like shaping metal in fire. The old self is burned away, the rough edges are hammered down, and through persistence, something stronger and sharper emerges. Transformation is not a single event, it is a lifelong practice of becoming. The deliberate nature of transformation begins with choice. Each choice you make either reinforces the old self or strengthens the new. Choosing discipline over laziness, courage over fear, and truth over comfort is what builds the foundation of your new identity. These decisions may seem small in the moment, but they accumulate, shaping the trajectory of your life. Forging yourself requires awareness, because unconscious living only repeats the same cycles. You must ask yourself at every turn, does this decision align with who I am becoming? Or does it pull me back to who I used to be? New habits form the framework of transformation. Your old routines created the life you outgrew, and new routines are needed to build the life you seek. Habits are powerful because they automate your future. They take your intentions and turn them into action without constant struggle. The habit of rising early, the habit of feeding your mind with wisdom, the habit of protecting your energy from distractions. All of these shape the person you are forging. At first, building habits feels heavy, but with consistency they become part of your identity. You no longer need to force discipline because you have become disciplined. You no longer need to chase motivation because you are led by commitment. Relentless commitment is what carries transformation beyond the first spark. Many people begin the process of change with excitement, only to abandon it when it becomes inconvenient or difficult. But true forging requires fire, and fire burns long before it refines. Commitment is staying the course even when you don't see immediate results, when others doubt you, or when your old self calls you back. It is the refusal to quit, the refusal to negotiate with weakness, the refusal to let temporary discomfort steal long-term growth. Relentless commitment is the shield that protects you when temptation and doubt appear. Forging yourself also demands patience. Metal is not shaped in a single strike. It is hammered repeatedly until the form is strong and enduring. Likewise, your transformation will test you through cycles of progress and setbacks, victories and failures. Each time you stumble, you are given another chance to recommit, to refine, to sharpen. Transformation does not require perfection, it requires persistence. Every effort, no matter how small, is proof that you are not who you once were. In this process, you will feel resistance. Your mind will cling to the familiar, your emotions will crave comfort, and the world around you may not understand your evolution. But this resistance is the pressure that shapes you. Without resistance, there is no strength. Without struggle, there is no growth. Each challenge is not a barrier but a tool, a part of the forge that is molding you into someone new. Forging the new self is a deliberate act of courage. It is choosing to release the old identity that no longer serves you, to build new habits that sustain your future, and to commit relentlessly to becoming the person you know you are meant to be. It is not easy, but it is worth it. Because when you look back, you will see that every conscious choice, every new habit, and every act of commitment was not just building a new self. It was revealing the strongest, truest version of you. Every breaking point, every fear, every failure, every moment of destruction is not the end of you. It is the preparation for you. Pain does not come to weaken you, it comes to awaken you. The chaos, the discomfort, the uncertainty, and the fire you walk through are the very forces shaping the person you were always meant to become. Transformation is not accidental. It is deliberate, it is demanding, and it is worth every sacrifice. You are not breaking down, you are breaking open. You are not being buried, you are being planted. And every choice you make, every habit you form, every act of relentless commitment is forging a stronger, wiser, freer version of yourself. So stand firm in the fire, embrace the destruction, trust the discomfort, and keep walking, because the self you are becoming is greater than anything you are leaving behind.